finding hostages and the future of phase 2 of this plan, which includes the disarming of Hamas, demilitarizing Gaza, and ensuring Hamas will have no role in the future of Gaza ever again. Phase 2 also includes the establishment of the International Stabilization Force, and the details of which, of course, together are being discussed. I'll now take a few questions. Okay, first question from Steve Shear from Reuters. How much pressure is Israel under to allow the safe passage of the 200 Hamas fighters in Gaza? Under what scenario will Israel allow them to go free? Specifically, of course, thanks for your question on this, Steve. Right now, they are actually not fighters. They are terrorists in that tunnel, and Turkish propaganda cannot change the fact that they are terrorists. Terrorists who are with Hamas. Even Hamas admits its tunnels are for its terrorists and not for its people. But regarding that, I don't have much information to share with you. I would also just like to, of course, talk about any decision that is made. It's made in partnership, in full collaboration with President Trump and his team. Of course, these meetings are ongoing. We are working together with the Trump administration under this plan every step of the way. Or Shaked from Israel Hayom. President Trump is expected to meet with Syrian President later today at the White House. Is a security agreement between Israel and Syria expected to be signed in this context? I don't have knowledge of that, nothing to share with you on that right now. But of course, when it comes to Syria, our eyes are wide open about the past of this Syrian president. But like I said, not much to share with you on that. But I would love, of course, to reiterate that Israel supports the Druze community, and we have supported those communities during the horrific massacres the Druze endured in Sweda inside of Syria, and Israel will continue to support our brothers of the Druze community as time goes on. Joel Pollack from California Post. After a month of ceasefire, how would you describe the mood in Israel? Thanks so much for that question, Joel. It's really important for us to reiterate that Prime Minister Netanyahu has changed the face of the Middle East. We are at a turning point here in Israel when it comes to this region. We are in a much, much stronger position. We have nearly cut the axis of Iran and all of its terror proxies. We have diminished the nuclear program significantly in Iran, of course, with the help from President Trump. And we know Hamas lacks complete capabilities at this point in time. And of course, there's been a change of leadership in Syria. As you can see, there's so many different accomplishments we have reached at this point in time after nearly 2 years of war. And of course, getting our hostages out. Like I said at the beginning of this brief, we have 4 hostages left in Gaza. We started at 255. It is a commitment Prime Minister Netanyahu has made from the beginning of this war. And it has been a commitment he's made for years. Like I said before, getting Lieutenant Hadar Golden was a commitment the Prime Minister made 11 years ago. Here I am standing in front of you today telling you that Lieutenant Hadar Golden will be buried here in Israel as his remains have finally been brought home. His family is now able to close this horrific circle. And also, we got the release of our 20 living hostages back here. Remember, people doubted the Prime Minister at the beginning of the war that he couldn't even bring home 1 hostage. Here I am today, 255 hostages from the Gaza Strip are now back. Julia Frankel from the Associated Press. Is and has Israel engaged in any ceasefire-related talks about the 200 trapped Hamas fighters in Gaza? Did the topic come up in the Prime Minister's meeting with Kushner today? I've answered that question already. Hi from TV2 in Norway. I hope you have a comment on the following. The Norwegian Prime Minister is facing criticism for participating in the Kristallnacht commemoration organized by the Anti-Racist Center rather than one hosted by the Jewish community itself. I'm reading your comments on the background. Let's get something very clear. Norway was the first country to reward Hamas with a Palestinian state. The Prime Minister has consistently said that rewarding anyone with a Palestinian state is a reward for terrorism. I'd also like to point you to the statement the Foreign Ministry put out specifically about this. I'll read part of it. The Norwegian Prime Minister is setting new records of moral depravity, anti-Israel hostility, and anti-Semitism. He chose to participate in a ceremony that turned a horrific episode of the murder and persecution of Jews, the anniversary of Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass, into a weapon against the Jewish state, Israelis, and Jews. Point you back to that statement for more information. Question 2, according to Rabbi Michael Cohen, the Jewish community in Norway states that many of its members are afraid to attend the Anti-Racist Center event. I don't have specific knowledge on that, but like I said, point you back to our foreign ministry's statement regarding this, where you will be able to find more details. Specifically, of course, like I have continued to say over the last few briefings, details are continuously being worked out about phase 2, as we are still in phase 1, where we are pushing for the release. We are demanding for the release of our 4 hostages to be returned. It is mandatory